I'm gonna play the piece, and then you're gonna play. Let's just give that a go. So the piece is a minute and a half.
What would you describe improvisation to be?
Improvisation is playing along with other people and not knowing what you're going to play.
Do you like it?
I love improv. I think it's my favorite way of playing music.
Why?
Because it's super freeing, I guess. I don't know. It feels like the most sort of like the easiest way to like let yourself out into your music.
There's playing like written music that's like a beautiful way to like express other like things that other people have felt and like put into music, but then like the exploration of improv is just like using that kind of as a new dimension of like expressing yourself, which is so cool. And just like it's I feel like a completely different mindset.
There's like times when I'm like, like I'm really, I don't know if the microphone picked that up. Like, it just feels like you're like really connected. And then there are times when I'm like, I feel like I don't even know how to like play my instrument right now.
So real.
But so I don't really know. I think it's like it changes. It's not like a static thing. I think it's like when you kind of like stop caring so much about what exactly you're doing. Once you kind of release that, it kind of frees you up a little bit.
I was making this, and I was like, I don't really see the ethical. But then I realized, I was like, oh, why is improvisation important in the first place? Like, what makes it so important? And this just like totally made me realize it's so important.
Yeah.
For so many
the power
reasons.
dynamic is different than in most musical structures, right? This flute player who was very reticent about playing, and then she ended up doing a solo piece, and then after the concert she said, "You saved me, like I was never going to play flute again when I came to Tufts. Like high school broke me. I never wanted to play it again." And concert life in general suffers from being too fussy. Art music does, and that turns people off from art music.
When I used to play music, I just like read off the sheet, and I was so scared to make a mistake. Like this was such a theme for me. Like I just like was so scared to perform because I didn't want to make a mistake. And so when I joined like the new music ensemble here, it's so great because you actually just can't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you can do that's wrong. And I think that's like something about improvisation. It's just like you're just going with it. Like there's no script to follow, and if there's no script to follow, then you can't write anything wrong.
Totally. So when I was studying abroad, I like brought my violin with me, but like I was like, I don't know if there's classical music, like I don't know what the vibes are gonna be, but like I'ma bring it, like we'll see. And then I joined like a Uruguayan popular music ensemble at like the art school, and like showing up to the first rehearsal, it was like everything about it was just like the opposite of like my experience in Granoff. Like being in the orchestra here, it's like every rehearsal it's like we're gonna play from measure like or section A to section F and like do a string, like it's just like everything's so specific and organized. The Uruguayan musicians I was playing with just had a completely different like sense of rhythm, and just like something that they told me a lot of the time too was like I had a huge emphasis on like the downbeats, and was one like almost like my conception of music was like one like kind of in a straight line, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's they're more just like it's just like complete, like so many things are different.
Do you feel like people who play classical music in a very like tight and traditional way, that they're happy playing the music?
Another profound question. I ask myself this all the time. I said to a student yesterday, I said, it sounds like a forced march. And she smiled. You know, like it's not the spirit of the music. You know, it sounds like I'm like clubbing you over the head to do this. Like, if you don't want to do it, you do it, you know. I blame the tradition of like the Royal School of Music, grade 1, grade 2, you got a star for this and a thing, you know, and then you pass this exam and that, you know. It doesn't help anyone.
Yeah.
Like, competitions don't help much either.
One question I had was like, did you guys feel a sense of flow, like after you practice like a written piece of music time and time again, and then you perform and it's like to as perfect as you can? Is there like a sense of flow in that as well, or do you feel like you're kind of constantly in some sort of, you're holding on to something?
Yeah, I was going to like bring this up earlier, but I feel like when I get in a state of like learning a song, the exact rhythms, the exact like loudness and like, you know, like dynamics, and I learn it exactly like that, it's stressful learning it, and I feel like a sense of like perfectionism when I'm learning it. But at some point I've always been told to just let it go when you get on stage, and when I do that, I do most of the rhythms correctly, and I don't know, it is like how it's written, but I feel like there's much more, I feel like I have much more control, much more, it brings out more musicality when I just let it go and do whatever my body wants to do in the moment on stage. It feels very freeing, I feel like.
From my past 2 years of taking lessons with my piano teacher right now, learning how to like play improvisational solo piano and also in a group, I learned that in order to play or improvise or play as you will, you have to hear what you might play, what will happen in the next few seconds or the next moment, and then you're gonna express that through your instrument.
Oh. Like hear it before you play it.
Yes.
Huh.
So you predict the future.
I do predict the future.
Oh, so there's like
all of us do.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, and to me, in my understanding, there are currently 3 stages of being able to play as freely as you can. First of all, you have to be able to hear what is happening at the moment that is outside of you.
That's I really like this.
Okay, is it a
Thin crash. Okay.
Cymbals concerto.
Okay.
And then the second, you have to hear like the inner ears, what my teacher says, like the inner ears of yourself, and you have to hear what is coming up. And after that, you need to be able to voice it in yourself, like be able to express it in your voice. Some people, their instrument is their voice, so they sing. They're singers, and they don't have to do the next step, which is to turn that into skills and mechanical techniques through an instrument. And that is like what instrumentalists do. Like we hear the music, we voice that in our voice, and then we voice that in our instrument's voice, which is an extension of our voice.
So the instrument acts as an extension of your voice when you play? Did you say that?
Yeah, and that is
Like pretty seamlessly?
a huge gap.
Yeah, huge gap.
Take hours of practice,
Yeah.
take years of
big
practice.
gap?
A big gap.
I think the most important thing that I've gotten away from this class and improv in general is like it's so important to listen, and like that's the kind of the biggest key for like with this class. It's like it's gonna sound good when everyone's listening to each other and like hearing when it would be good to come in the whole group. I think that's also kind of a cool life metaphor of like when you're going about your life in the most random way you can, like you gotta listen to yourself and like pay attention to what's around you.
I think in my life, improvisation has been extremely important. Like with music, I've learned how to start like letting go of like expectations and needing to know everything, and it's helped me with like kind of like every aspect of my life. So, one, do you think improvisation is important for you in general, like for musicians?
I liked what you said about how it translates to the rest of your life, because I feel like going about your life the same way you go about improving is a really great way of going about your life, where you just kind of, you can't plan that much, like accepting you can't really plan that much ahead, you don't know what's going to happen, and then just kind of like going with it and trying to make something cool out of whatever you come across, kind of the same way you would about what you're hearing when you're improving.
Life is an improvisation,
Yeah.
right? I'm really good with little kids because I know how to play. Parents are always amazed, like, you're a magnet to toddlers, and like, because I know how to sit down and play, improvise, you know.
Hey, what's up?
We should do this.
Oh, it's been alright.
Yeah, we should piece it.
I'm gonna record now. 10 o'clock. I'm gonna find you. Oh,
So you love that?
Yeah, I do.
I think Quinn would love that. Anyway, I find it mesmerizing, but bring in 8 things. Bring in 8 things and let's sort them. That
They
could
have
be
to
a
all be
piece.
the same
Yeah, what can we
thing?
do?
Just 8 people and you hit
Yeah, I
them.
think
That's what I'm
no, I mean,
saying, like-
there's no rules.
We should
to
do
it.
ourselves. We should do like all of us.
What do you mean all of us?
Like our,
Oh yeah, wait. We all have keys.
Yeah.
Alright, so wait.
I think I'm
It
pretty
needs to be
low.
quiet.
Kids have a lot of creativity than most of adults. They're not very well trained if they don't do extensive or intensive training, but they have creativity, which they can create stuff that most of us cannot imagine. That's like somewhere in their imagination. But then the way they express it can be limited in the tools that they use, or the other way around. But it just depends on what do you think is music. If you're trying to create music that is free from the conventional forms, or free from anything that can be achieved through practice, then you're fine. Like, this can be music, and this doesn't really take training to you know, like, to realize.
Yeah, I remember John McDonald said everyone should take this class. It should be required of everyone at the university. Yeah, develops, and it also develops the skill of taking a closer look at your routines in general.
and why is
Routines
that?
are chosen
Why is that important?
because misery can easily set in
With routine.
with routine. It's like, oh, I've got to do this. And, you know, there are things you do have to do, but you can embrace everything you have to do and make it be a little more bright.
Yeah.
If you look at it as an anything can happen situation.